Hi, Faisalji. Welcome to this quarantine catch up. How are you?
Thank you very much.
I believe you and the boys just had an in room workout session. How did that go?
Really well, because as you know that all the players and we all coaches us are much used to with this quarantine life. Wherever we are as players, and so I think it's a routine now. Luckily now there are not many days of quarantine here in Abu Dhabi,
Luckily.
so I think that's a good sign.
Yeah, it's a lovely sign because I'm already finding it a little challenging. Right, so now all of us are in quarantine, and like you rightly said, a lot of us have spent a lot of time in quarantine of late. So, what do you do to keep yourself entertained as well as sane while you're in quarantine?
Normally, players I know that they like to focus on the towards the tournament, towards the game. They make sure that they follow all the fitness routine in the rooms being done by strength and conditioning coaches, and I think they do a tremendous job as strength and conditioning coaches, especially the players as well, because it was the players last year, when all this bubble started. But now all the players have been throughout the world playing for the nationals, utilizing the time. And we coaches also get good time, do a little bit of training in the room. And plus, we can do a lot of work for the preparation.
Right, but what if when you're not preparing, or what if when you're not focusing? Because it is important for us to unwind. So it is also important for us to kind of entertain ourselves. We've seen many people watch movies, use their phones. Thanks to all these applications, we can now connect with our family living across the world. So, what do you specifically do when it comes to entertaining yourself in quarantine?
I like to watch movies because movies is the best therapy, I believe, when you're in
Yes.
your room. I think I've enjoyed watching my favorite movies almost 1,000 times now, and still want to watch them again and again. So yeah, sharing childhood movies as well, which we have early 90s, late 80s, it's a good time to watch them on YouTube again. So yeah, it's a kind of like recalling yourself overall, cherishing your time you have spent in the past, and focusing towards the
I think
future as
that's
well. So
one
yeah.
plus point of quarantine, even while we were all quarantining at home, not necessarily for work or not for a league. Even when we were at home, we were just, looking back at our lives and getting to cherish the good times that we had, which otherwise we were too busy to even focus on. So I think that's one good thing that we've learned from quarantine. Also got to spend more time with our family and loved ones, something that at least I took for granted.
Absolutely, yes. Because, we all life has gone so busy for everyone throughout the world. Even if you are a professional person in any of the field, it goes so quickly. Every day is just moving so fast. COVID came between, and everyone got a sudden stop in life, and slowly gathering themselves back of getting into the new norms of life. I call it new norms of life.
Yes.
So for me, it has been a very up task as well, because I know retired cricketer that how tough it is for the players as well, and for the coaches as well, to make sure that everything goes smoothly as planned. Because once you are in a tournament, you have to focus on keeping all these things aside. Everyone needs to follow what we are here for, and
Absolutely. No, I agree with you. And not just in cricket. In fact, if you look at different sports across the world, everyone's been quarantining, everyone's been living out of a biosecure bubble. And sometimes you do hear people, especially players, complaining of fatigue or bio fatigue, bubble fatigue. It can sometimes become challenging to be staying inside a biosecure bubble or be quarantining for extended periods of time.
absolutely. It's not easy. Like I said earlier, that players have gone used to with it now. Have understood that, like I said before, it's the new norms of life. So I do hear around the globe, when you hear players in different sports. I've heard a female tennis player, during Wimbledon, mentally, couldn't able to cope up the life. So mental health has really been a very important factor in this quarantine life. So I think which is have to follow is good, so that everyone can focus on the goals.
That's right, sir. And what kind of advice do you give to your players as a coach, or what kind of a routine do you advise them to have while they're quarantining?
It's just the new norms of life. They all are very much used to it, because most of the players, like I said,
They've been through it.
before, there's some of them we have are recently coming from the World Cup as well. So for them, I think it's an automatic understanding by themselves, because they are very much used to with this lifestyle. And we as coaches, just make sure that they are in the right frame of mind all the time, and we can just support them all the time to make sure that they perform on the best of their abilities.
Absolutely. And what kind of advice would you give to a newbie like myself? I'm not really used to quarantining. It's hardly been 2 days and I'm already crippling, and I'm like, when is this going to end? So any advice for people like me who are not very used to this?
Just enjoy the moment. Make sure you watch movies, and gadget is the best friend during quarantine time. Utilize it as much as you can. Family time, friends time. You catch up with lots of your friends and family who you don't get time in a normal life, busy life before COVID. So I think it's the best kind of a mental knowing your own self as well, and I think that has helped me out, because last year when I got into it, it was tough for me. But it got tougher when you stay in a hotel bubble for at least 4.5 months.
My God.
Playing, and so it's been tough for us as well, me as well, especially in domestic cricket. We go through a longer period of quarantine, but yes, as a professional, we all have to get used to with it. Hopefully we get rid of this COVID thingy as soon as we can.
Absolutely. And we just hope that this ends as soon as possible. We've had a bit of it already, and I think we want to have our old lives back, don't we all? Right. So now, have you ever played Would You Rather? Have you heard of this game called Would You Rather? Whereby you get two options and you need to fit those two options, one of the two options, into a scenario. Have you ever played?
No, I haven't.
Okay, would you rather? So let me explain the game to you. What I'll do is I'm going to give you a set of scenarios. In fact, a scenario one by one. And along with that scenario, I'll give you two options. And you have to pick your preferred option. So would you rather do this or that? Something like that. It's pretty simple. Shall we give it a shot?
Okay. Yeah, I would love to try something. Yeah, I'd love to try anything fun.
Brilliant, brilliant. I hope this is going to be fun for you, sir. So your first would you rather is, would you rather be in quarantine alone or have a roommate who snores and out loud?
Definitely alone.
Yeah, me too. Are you a light sleeper? Because people who sleep light, they just cannot stand people who snore.
Yeah, you can say that, yeah.
All right. Okay, let's move on. In quarantine, would you rather be without your phone or be without your TV?
Definitely without TV.
Yeah, the phones have become pretty versatile. You can almost do anything on your phone. Let's say, moving on. Would you rather be quarantined with an unlimited supply of movies or an unlimited supply of data?
Unlimited supply of movies, and what was the other one? I missed the thing.
The other one was an unlimited supply of data. So data that you can use your internet on your phone.
Definitely unlimited supply of data.
You love your phone, don't you?
We all do.
That's true. All right. So your last one is, would you rather be quarantined at home for 15 days or at a hotel that you dislike, but just for 5 days? So at home for 15 days or at a bad hotel, so to speak, but just for 5 days?
Home, because we've been quarantining in hotel from long times.
Yeah.
So I think I'll be happy doing 15-day quarantine at home rather than 5 days.
I would also. I live in Zimbabwe, so I'm kind of used to quarantining a bit more than you all. There's not much to do there. Did you enjoy that? Said that's our this or that, or would you rather? Did you enjoy the segment?
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, it's good fun. Yeah, I would always love to try something new. So, it was good for a little bit of fun for me.
No, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Okay, now let's move on and talk a little bit about this short format, the T10 format. So 10 overs to prove your mettle really and show what you've got. What is your take on this shortest format currently being played?
It's one of cricket, if you look at it, taking it to the next level, because we all have been saying it from years now that, cricket should be included in the Olympics.
Yes.
And my first year, I was with the Maratha Arabians in first two editions as their batting consultant. So those 2 years, it was an exceptional experience of watching this cricket, certainly from a T20 to a T10 perspective, because I have played Hong Kong Super Sixes as well.
Yes.
As captaining Pakistan 2 years. So I know what was the sudden difference I got when I played that tournament. And then I came into this T10. So I think T10 is definitely a format to look forward to. And you will see T20 players do struggle in T10 as well, because it looks like a T20 player can perform in T10, but most of the time, you'll see what I've seen. A first year of the experience, helps them to be better for the second year of T10 experience. So that's good. And the top players, they adopt very quick in this format. So yeah, it's good. It's challenging. And one thing this format has done, it has given a flexibility to express themselves early, rather than when they play in T20 or
Longer
50
format.
overs competition.
Yep.
Bigger of the mindset also give them enough confidence, and that is why the world cricket is going forward and faster, even in Test cricket also. That's where you hear strike rates, you hear coaches talking about the players' strike rates, and how they want them to play in those different formats as well. Even in Test cricket, we are looking forward to the players. Should their strike rate and make the runs comes a bit faster than they normally do in the past. So yes, it's a good format, and I'm looking forward to see this format in Olympics as well in future, inshallah.
Definitely. We all have discussed how this format can actually take cricket to the Olympics. But I also wonder if this format will one day soon be introduced at an international level. So we just had the ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2021. That format, once it was introduced, people were a little skeptical. They said this is going to kill cricket. But now it's become very famous. You have leagues happening across the world. In fact, I don't think there's a single month in the calendar year whereby you don't have a league or the other happening. So do you see this T10 format also being incorporated into international cricket in the near future, perhaps?
Well, hopefully, I'm expecting that if everybody is looking for this format to be included in Olympics, so why not? It should be part of the series in future as well. You can play at least one T10 in any league as well. When I was first time I was part of this T10 league, so there is a possibility you can see it, a test matches and one T10 international game as well. So yes, why not? Hopefully, we'll look forward to it. But my ultimate belief is obviously Test cricket is the ultimate format. A Test cricket can never be changed. A good cricketer can play any, and this is what I've seen in many cricketers also. A good cricketer, most of them, they adopt very quickly, and you find great cricketers playing all format of the game very smoothly. So it's all about adjusting yourself, focusing your mind, and seeing your career in.
Absolutely. Modern day cricket has become a lot about versatility. You can't just have a good skill set and not be mentally strong. It's a combination. You need to be versatile. You need to keep changing gears. And, you need to have a lot of other things which probably 10, 15 years ago you didn't need. For instance, being mentally strong or mentally present. I mean, it was a factor, of course, but now, especially with the kind of changes the game is going through, it's become very, very important. Right, just continuing our discussion on this short format, I want to ask you to tell me one thing that you absolutely love about this short format and one thing that you don't quite like about the format.
want the players a freedom to express themselves. Like I said earlier, it gives them freedom to see what set of skills they have as a bowler, as a batter. Challenging, they can take it. So I see it in a positive side as well. To me, there is no negativity for this format because, like I said earlier, towards the Olympics and obviously at different levels. So I would always look it on the positive side all the time.
That's lovely. That's lovely. You don't want to focus on anything negative. But I've heard a lot of bowlers complain about this format that it doesn't have much to offer to the bowlers. It's more like a batsman's game. Would you agree?
I think it's kind of like a balance in both. If you look at this format from last three, 4 seasons, you will find bowlers dominating as well because as a batter, it looks very easy to hit all the time, but you give an opportunity to the bowler as well for your wicket. So it looks tough, but I think it has given bowlers more freedom to express with the new concept of bowling, different ways of getting the batters out, and they're finding new ways of developing new skills in their bowling because you don't get enough time in your 2 overs to think about it. So if they start thinking about 2 overs, so just imagine 4 overs will be very helpful for them to develop in a T20 format. So I think if you look at it on the positive side, it all depends on an individual, how he's thinking of his 2 overs as a bowler. And if we can add in it, happy days for him.
Absolutely. That's a good way of looking at it. Right, so now this is your first stint with the Northern Warriors franchise. Do you have any objectives or any particular goals that you want to achieve by the time the league ends?
Definitely, the barriers have been set very high for the Northern Warriors. And obviously, as a new coach, as well with my team, because they've been champion twice. And even last year as a champion. So we're going to defend the title again with a new set of players. So which is a good sign, our franchise looks towards that. And I think a lot of discussion about cricket and about the players, we have to pick and, we have to make a team. We go through a lot of hard work for last couple of months for that. And obviously, end of the day, we all wanted the team to do the best in the tournament, and obviously when you start as a defending champion, so hopes are very high from everyone, but it's not pressure the players, just play and perform and enjoy your cricket because as long as moment you can deliver the best as a player. So no pressure on anyone, but we will definitely going to take it as a challenge of defending the title.
Brilliant, brilliant. So now the Northern Warrior team has a very good mix of players. If you look at the team composition, you have a lot of experienced, seasoned names that you see playing leagues, even international cricket across the world. You have a mix of young players, talented youngsters. So who in particular are you really excited to be coaching in this particular season?
Obviously, when you are at this level of cricket, we don't do a lot of like coaching kind of a thing. It's more about handling them. It's all about the plans, how we make them. And we do listen to their plans also and see how it goes. But end of the day, most of the players are very professional. Obviously, with us UAE players, from associate countries, I'm very much looking forward to see them as well. That how much they have got in them because we have seen them in the T20 World Cup. And now we want to see how they perform.
I would say some of them were very impressive. Yeah.
Yes, and that is why we picked them after when we had some players or injuries and other issues of replacing, and that was one of the reasons we picked them. So I'm very much hopeful as a head coach, and obviously from a franchise point of view, we all as a management looking forward to all the players who we have picked. That they inshallah going to perform the best of their abilities, and like I said earlier, we have got a focused goal in front of us of defending the title, and hopefully all the players will going to fulfill. Will going to play a very important role. We've got Chris Jordan, Moeen, Imran Tahir. We got our captain. All these boys have been with the franchise cricket from a while now. So they know how to take up the things and take up the challenge, and how important it is for the French franchise as well, and for themselves, to perform better for the tournament.
Absolutely. And you're happy By the way the team looks, the team composition, you think it's a balanced side?
Yes, we've got a good composition with us. We obviously we have back-to-back games, and the weather is here also tough conditions for all the players. So we have to make sure that everyone is fit and ready to go, and we'll see according to the situation how things come up, and make sure that players get chances, and obviously rest as well in between, so that they are fresh enough for the next game. So all the plans are there with us, and hopefully inshallah we're going to
It's
implement
only a
that and
matter of
how the
executing
result.
plans now. Yeah. All the best to you.
Absolutely.
All the best to you. All the best to the entire team. Before I let you go, just one last question that has been bothering me since a very long time. We saw toss playing a very important role, like almost a game-changing factor in the World Cup that just concluded, the T20 World Cup. Is it going to play as important a role in the T10 league also, or it won't really be much of a difference because the format's much shorter?
See, you have, if you look at the history of all the games happened in previous T10s as well, even the T20 World Cup also, there were games, people were expecting the toss will play a vital role, but it didn't. So it's all about, the mindset. We as head coach, I myself probably, I don't believe that much on the toss, because we prepare our players to, take the challenge, whatever comes up, because as toss. So that is the main challenge we have to we talk to the players, and players themselves knows all this very well, because they've been playing all around and they understand the concept of it. So they all know their roles really well, and I think it doesn't matter about the toss, who's going to win or not. It do play its role as well, because it's a team cricket, but we as team, I don't take that and that in that frame of mind.
Brilliant. I think we shouldn't. Should just focus on the game. And of course, toss is a probability. 50% we may win and 50% we may lose. So focus on things that are in our control. Thank you so much, Mr. Faisal. Lovely talking to you. Very insightful and very positive, I must say. And all the best to you once again, and the entire team, Northern Warriors. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time, and thank you very much. Thank you.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah!